This programme is brought to you by Vinny.co.uk.
A very good evening, everyone. Welcome to the Champions League pool here on Free Sports. Delighted to be with you once again. Mondays wouldn't quite be the same without us, would it? Stephen Jameson and Simon Webb are here as ever, and we're guiding you through our penultimate week of group stage action from the Champions League. And Simon, once again, we've got a great lineup for our folks at home.
Yeah, another fantastic lineup. We feel like we've had a great lineup every single week. We've seen some brilliant pool throughout the 6 weeks we've had, and I think tonight's going to be another fantastic show. Yeah,
and we have a headliner, don't we? It'd be rude to get away from it right from the get-go. Chris Melling's with us, one of the greats currently on the bays at the moment, and great for him to be in this tournament and to showcase just exactly what he can do.
Yeah, he's a massive name from the Q Sports world. Plays not just pool, but he's also or English pool. He plays Chinese pool, American pool, Mosconi Cup star. He was a snooker player as well. He really, with a cue in his hand, he can do absolutely anything. He really is a fantastic player, and he's so good to watch. I'm really looking forward to seeing how he gets on tonight.
Yeah, it should be really interesting. We do have 3 other players for you there. Let's take a look at tonight's lineup then in the Champions League pool, group number 7. Chris Melling is the headliner. He joins us as the favourite to qualify through tonight, but he's got competition from Mike King, Hitan Patel and Gio Edgar, just a teenager. Should be a great game ahead of us initially as well. We kick off with the youngster in action up against Mike King. Gio Edgar, the slight outsider. Mike King, the odds-on favourite for this one, and for good reason as well. So there's a lot of noise being made, especially north of the border, about young Gio Edgar. He's a phenomenal talent, but I feel like it's important to caveat that he is still barely out of school. He is so young. He's a real prodigy, but we have to temper expectations a little bit when it comes to these big senior events where he's competing against some of the best players around.
Yeah, and we've seen him once before on Free Sports, and he did himself proud that night. He played very well, didn't manage to go through, but he'll have learned a lot from that experience. And I think there is a lot of expectation and a lot of noise about Gio, and quite rightly so with what he's achieved in the junior game. But his time will come for sure, and it may well be tonight. I'm looking forward to seeing how he gets on. It's amazing that he's 20 years younger than the next youngest competitor tonight. That's incredible, really.
Yeah, didn't think I'd get to the stage quite yet in my broadcasting career where I'd be commentating on a pool player that was over a decade younger than myself, but here we are. Guess life comes fast to us all. But we're watching Mike King at the moment, very good player in his own right, the second favourite to qualify from tonight's group behind Chris Melling, and he's currently looking at a decent chance here on yellows. We're playing to a 20-minute match clock. All 4 players will play each other, and whoever is top of the pile after all 6 games will qualify through to the quarterfinals, which are in a few weeks' time. 20-minute matches, 20 seconds per shot, and we will take whatever comes first in terms of the matches, be it 0 on the watch or a race to 4 frames. Can be draws, therefore, if we run out of time. 2 points for a win, 1 for a draw. Winner takes all. It's been a really promising start from Mike King. We've sort of introduced the show in the meantime whilst he's been going about. A really, really handy clearance here. This 8 ball to put him 1-0 up. And that was never in doubt. That's as smooth as it comes for your opening frame of the tournament. Mike King off and running there, Simon, and that was very impressive.
Yeah, what a start. Excellent opening break and just in perfect control all the way through the visit. Never in doubt that finish, the way he took it out. Looks very comfortable out there, and he is a player. He starts tonight as second favourite for the group, but he's a player that knows how to win. You know, he's won plenty of tournaments. He really is a player that comes in with a great reputation, and he's certainly shown us that in his first frame.
Yeah, he really has. And almost time to see another player with a stellar reputation.
Second frame.
But all the focus is on the future for young Gio Edgar.
Time running.
And he's on and off the cut break into the bottom right corner. Not sure I've seen that in a very long time. Let's take another look at this. It's a good split from the cut as well. Just wonder if he's gone straight through the packet. Yeah, off the cushion into the bottom corner. It's unlucky.
Yeah, you have to say that's unlucky. The cue ball's gone right through the triangle area for that not to contact something else.
Quite a remarkable threading of the needle, wasn't it?
Yeah, not the start that Gio would have wanted, that's for sure. Especially with your opponent making that statement with a break dish in the opening frame. You want to kind of return the favour and get a nice break and get going yourself. And now he has to sit there and watch a little bit of punishment here. These are opened up quite nicely again for Mike.
Yeah, it started off cue ball in hand, this break for Mike King. International rules in operation tonight. Cue ball in hand in the result of a foul, no two shots carry or shot and a visit, anything like that. Get your cue ball in hand, and that's it.
Needs to make sure he leaves a really good angle on his second last yellow to be able to get onto the last yellow. Just needs to slide by the red. It might have a shade too much angle. He's getting down quickly.
Looks like he's looks tight, this.
Yeah, it does. Looks like he's just going to brush the red, and if he does, then that's going to cause a problem.
So explaining it with a fair amount of side, he's screwing back.
Yeah, decided to come backwards because of that, accepting a trickier pot on this yellow. But he can cannon the white into the reds and hold for the black, so put all the energy into the pot.
Well, he's got his eye in, hasn't he, Mike King? Goodness me, what a start this has been. Absolutely rip-roaring start for the Englishman. He takes a 2-0 lead in next to no time. A man in a hurry is Mike King. He's off to a great start.
Break dish, reverse dish to start the night. That's incredible stuff from Mike King. No nerves, no settling down and getting used to the 20 seconds a shot. He's straight in there, and to be honest, when you keep the control of the cue ball as well as he has in those two visits, the 20 seconds becomes kind of irrelevant because he doesn't have to do too much thinking out there.
This is his opponent, young Gio Edgar. Storm from Stevenston up in Scotland. He is a massive Ronnie O'Sullivan fan as well as big Glasgow Rangers fan. As you can see, his record in the junior game is absolutely outstanding. To take the under-15 and the under-18 title in the same year shows you've got a little bit about you, eh?
Yeah, and I think he's already playing in the under-23 section as well, so he's doing well. He really is a fantastic young talent. Another brilliant break here from Mike.
Yeah, this is about as good as we've seen, honestly. This is an absolute sledgehammer.
Look at the control of the cue ball. It just slides a little bit towards the left-hand side, but that was sort of parked in the middle of the table really nicely. Catching that break very well.
It's helped him. He has had two clearances off the break, both a break and dish and a reverse off of Gio's, but the splits have been good, and his positional work here has been excellent. There's a no-brainer to take yellows. Look at the reds. And young Gio Edgar here could be staring down the barrel of a 3-0 deficit, having done very precious little wrong.
Yeah, and you can't beat yourself too much up in this situation if you're Gio. You just have to sit there and wait for your opportunity. It may not come until he's 3-0 down, unfortunately for him. I think the yellow just below the 8 ball goes into the centre pocket. This is a slightly loose positional shot. Want the cue ball a bit further away from the cushion than he is now.
I wonder if he's playing for the double on that yellow, because it doesn't look to me, just from our angle here, as if this goes past the 8 into the middle. looks so tight.
I think he's come down so far down the table. I think he must be playing for the centre pocket now, but it did look tight from the overhead. Well, this angle tells you it does go.
Yeah, perfect angle. Eye the needle stuff, and it's a little bit no man's land in terms of the cue ball position here for Mike, but a good chance to go 3-0 up nevertheless. And he's potting them like the pockets are buckets. It's a fantastic start for Mike King. Really, really excellent performance so far. Has done absolutely nothing wrong. And Kinger from Exeter is off to a flyer. He's a big name in the southwest. We were talking about this just before we came on air. He's had a great record with England in the World Team Championships, but his individual records have predominantly related to regional competitions. As we were saying in that chat before we came on air, Simon, just winning competitions really is something quite special.
Yeah, and those competitions are really well represented. There's a lot of very good players enter those competitions, and if you're winning in those events, then you are doing something very well. You really are. So, and there is something about just being able to win events, the ability to back match after match up and take titles.
8 ball on the move for Gio, and he could be in a very, very tough situation here because this is a good spread, but he is not going to ball down. And he hands Mike over a pretty good table hit.
He breaks from quite in. It's not as far to the side cushion for the cut break as others might be, and therefore the cue ball is going to come off a little thinner because of it, because he can't quite catch that second ball as full as you would do if you were on the side cushions. That might be part of the reason why the cue ball came a little bit low on the previous break. But he hit this one well enough to make a ball. Brilliant split. Still a number in the triangle area that Mike's going to have to work out.
Angles come into them here, and that shot's not gone as intended at all. I just wonder if that bottom red might just pass. I think it goes to the bottom left, doesn't it?
Yeah, I think there is enough room just about. It's tight. But once that one goes, does the other one then go to the centre pocket? It's all a little bit congested.
Mike King on the precipice. A 4-0 win. Gio Edgar, bless his cottons, has played 2 shots. Tough one to take. It's a difficult one.
He's going away from his work.
Very warm welcome to those of you joining us live on Free Sports. Currently about to watch the conclusion of our first match of the night in the Champions League pool. Mike King has played like a phenom, and just to say that, he's played his first bad shot of the night. And Gio Edgar has a great chance to clear here.
Well, I wasn't expecting that.
No.
Break dish, reverse dish, break dish, and that 8 ball was for another reverse dish.
Yeah, 3 clearances off the break for Mike King so far. For those of you who've just joined us, he's looked absolutely imperious. Didn't look anywhere near missing a ball. Never mind a simple 8 ball like that to wrap up the match. And Gio here with a chance to at least get a frame on the board, and he's in a position here where there's very little pressure on him, so good chance to get his cue arm going on the table. A youngster from Scotland.
Still 10 minutes, or over 10 minutes left in this match. This is an important couple of shots here for Gio just to get going on the night. Would have liked the cue ball to travel an extra 2 or 3 inches up the table to play one of the ones he's nearest to into the bottom corner first, but has this as a backup.
Has he got lucky? He has, I think, just judging from the hand up there by Gio.
I think there's a gap. Or he's just swerving it a fraction.
Yeah, there was indeed, and Mike King does take a 4-0 victory. It was almost flawless from Mike King. This should have been the 4-zip with no mistakes, which would have been probably the most impressive performance we've seen all tournament, honestly. But in the end, he got over the line. Edgar couldn't quite recover a bad positional shot. And Mike King gets it done in game 1 of the night at the Vinny.co.uk Champions League pool group number 7. An imperious performance from Kinger, and Chris Melling comes next against Hitan Patel. Don't go anywhere.
This programme is brought to you by Vinny.co.uk.